Good morning, guys. Today is April 3rd, 2017, and we are watching IDXG is the only thing on my watch list right now. Last couple days before the weekend, the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the momentum kind of slowed down in the markets. I didn't trade. What was it, Thursday and Friday? I didn't make any trades. I wasn't even on my desk just because some of school stuff. I had to head to school, and I kind of realized the markets were slow. So I was just kind of like, you know what, it's okay if I just take the last couple of days off, rather than sitting here making any trades or making non-momentum trades and just basically kind of getting stuck into bad habits and keep basically affecting my account. I decided to just stay away from the markets. It wasn't a bad decision. I felt pretty good about it just because I kept checking in the markets throughout the day, and it just seemed like there was some things that moved, but there weren't any good follow through. And if there's no good follow through, then that usually just doesn't. Some of my strategies, like pullback strategies, don't really work if there's no follow through on the initial spikes. So anyways, based on all that, I just I was happy that I stayed away. But today, pre-market, IDXG is the stock that's kind of moving, and it's moving with a catalyst. So this has a very low float. First of all, the float on this stock is 1.52 million. So with a float below 2 million shares ready to be traded, makes it a very low float stock. In the past, this stock has made some major gains. Like on this day, for example, it went from 491 all the way up to 1425, although it didn't hold its gain. This is a stock that doesn't hold its spike, so it has to be quick. You have to move in and out, just a 20 30 cents profit, and that's about it. You can't expect much from this stock because it's not even on this day. For example, went from 255 up to 343, but then ended up closing at 286. So retrace most of its gains. So with this, you just have to be careful that you don't get caught up in this stock, at the wrong time, or you buy too high, because it's most likely going to retrace its gains. And it has a catalyst out that they announced a European patent approval for underlying technology of its thru MIR. So again, it's a healthcare company. In medical research and stuff, and one of their product just got a European patent approval. So obviously it has a good catalyst. Now they can basically have a patent in Europe, something they can take advantage of. So definitely a good catalyst. We just have to make sure that we don't get caught up in this. Right now it's kind of building this trend line, pre-market, pulled up, pulled back down, tapped it, came back all the way down, tapped it, and now tapping again. So it's definitely having this little trend line here. If it can't get over 310 area, which would be my my trigger to buy a break of 310, this might not move once the market's open. So basically what we're watching on this is I would love to see a red to green move. So I would love to see it pull back down, maybe hold this $3 support, and then go from red to green on it, basically. Once it goes past through its open, potentially breaks this 310, I'll look to jump in, and then my exit basically would be 10-cent stop loss, so $3, and my target, back of the mind target, would be break of this 321, or upwards to 330, 340s here. 345 seems to be some resistance on the daily. I'll show you guys. So 345 right here, this candle seems to be some resistance. So if you can break 321, basically the target would be just 330, 340. With this, again, like I said, I'm not looking for a huge move. I'm just looking for 20-30 cents profit with a 10-cent stop loss. So risk reward ratio 3-to-1. Anyways, I'll pause the video now since it's the only thing I'm watching, and then we'll come back once the markets are open. Markets are going to be open in about 3 minutes or so, so we'll see if this is something we're playing right off the bat, or we're going to get a better entry on it once the stock pulls back a little or goes red to green. So anyways, we'll see you guys in a bit. All right, guys. I was watching STDY and IDXG. IDXG, once it opened, again, I was watching for that break of 310, but it just basically failed. It broke 3 and it just instantly dropped. Now it's kind of curling back up, but we'll see what happens here. I don't want to get in until it goes over 301, so I'll be watching for that. It's STDY is another one I was watching. I just pulled up off my scanner actually, just because it was spiking, and as it was pulling back, I was waiting for a 1 minute pullback setup. So pull back to the 9 EMA or the 5 EMA, hold that, and then the first candle to make a high. But I was waiting for this candle to pull back a bit more, and then the next candle to jump in for. But this candle just kind of instantly spiked as well. So no play there right now. Basically, I'm just watching the scanners now, waiting to see if there's anything else that's popping up. Other than that, nothing else that is catching my eye right now. So I'm just staying on the sideline till something that I feel like, is till something I feel like has momentum and something that can really push. I'll wait for that. So anyways, I'll bring you guys in when I look to jump into something. Alright guys, so I'm watching PRAN. It just got halted about 5 minutes ago. It should be opening in about 10 seconds here. So I'm waiting to see where it'll open. If it opens around 380 and then pushes through, I'm not gonna buy at 4 here. It's a little too high. Maybe wait for a pullback on this, and then look to jump in, see what happens here. Okay, just pull through that. Again, like I said, I didn't want to buy at 4. I feel like it's a little too high, especially as you guys. There you go. As you guys can see, it squeezed. Would have liked to see this open basically around 380 and then maybe a push for the 4. But again, it got squeezed. There isn't any news out or anything. It just got squeezed and it got halted. So, especially with the way the markets are reacting nowadays, with lots of initial spikes and then no follow through, it's just a lot of short sellers basically are jumping in this market right now, and it is their market technically, as they're the one who are. They're the ones who are taking advantage of these moves right now, because the initial spike is basically runs, and then basic people start either taking profits or short sellers starts jumping in, and then there's no follow through on these stocks whatsoever. So we're just watching it, see what happens here. I don't know if this is something I want to trade right now. It is holding that the 9 EMA on the 1 minute. On the 5 minute, it's in the red right now, so maybe we'll wait to see what happens here. So anyways, I'll pause the video here. We'll come back once we'll come back if I do decide to jump in on it. Alright guys, so we're reaching about 10:30, so hour into the market. I have no trades so far, and I'm pretty much done for the day. I'm gonna, just the reason being is because there's not much momentum in the market today, and I don't want to just sit here and just look for a play and force something and make a stupid decision. So based on that, I just think it's better for me to walk away and call a day. We'll just go over the plays here quickly. My very first watch was IDXG at the market open. As pre-market, I said that it was building this trend, pre-market tapping it as it was coming up, but it couldn't break it. So basically, I was waiting for the break of 310 or red to green move on this. It opened at 301 and it tried to move up, but it just couldn't really gain anything. And as soon as it broke 3, it plummeted down to the 280s. Tried to bounce back, nothing, and it just kept coming over here. Tried to do this U-shaped breakout, and I was watching it to see if it can get back to the three, break three, and then I'll jump in for the red to green move. Because that's what seems to be working today. There's a couple other things that went red to green and had a good initial spike, and then basically pulled back, and it just failed again. So again, there's no follow through in the market, which is something that to keep in mind moving forward for this week. We want to make sure that we're not buying any extensive pullbacks, because they might not just come back up. So APOP was another one that went red to green, and it was really nice. Came here, into the 920s. It opened at 989, so 990. As it came back up, once it went green on the day, it popped from there all the way up to the 1060s. So that was a quick 50-60 cent move there, which was nice. The other one was CYCC. Now CYCC was their pre-market, but once it opened, it basically kind of failed. It wasn't doing anything. Even pre-market, it popped up. The high was 595 there. There's only one buy there, and then it just kind of hung around that area. Came down, failed, consolidated, and then once it went green on the day, so red to green move again. It opened at 459. So right here, once it broke 459, basically went all the way up to the 6. So that was another, $1.50, a whole point move that could have easily been taken advantage of. But I wasn't watching CYCC as it was doing that. At that time, I think I was watching NAKD, because NAKD has a previous resistance of 255. So as it started popping up, I was watching it for the break of 255, and then potential run up to the 3s. Didn't get that kind of failed too. So a lot of these things, STDY was another one. It had a initial morning spike, pulled back, but I was watching for this 1 minute pullback, wanted to see if it'll give me a clean 1 minute pullback. It didn't. It pulled back, and then was like a quick pullback, came back up here, and getting up all the way up here in the 930s, I just didn't feel comfortable. I wanted to get in the 8s, in the high 8s, 870s, 880s, around there, and then look for a pushback over 9, and then to 950. If it did exactly that, it just it didn't give me a clean pullback. This candle should have, if it would have basically stayed around here, and then the next candle to make a new high, I would have jumped in. But since that candle ran, and the high was 937, I just didn't feel comfortable jumping in there. It's just way too high. So that was pretty much it for that. That failed too. Went back red on the day. So nothing there. So yeah, that's pretty much basically it. Still don't really see anything. So I'm basically just gonna call it a day. Pack up here and head down, get ready for school. I still have about 4 or 5 classes left, and then just gotta get ready for the finals. So nothing too crazy. Almost done school, and then it's time to start adulting. Then it's time to get a full-time job and work and save and pay off loans and just do all that. But in the meantime, I'm still gonna be trading. I'm still gonna be watching the markets. This is something I want to do for long term. So slowly I'm gonna build my confidence. Slowly I'll build my account. Obviously, on the month, or not the month, sorry, on the year, I'm down. In total, February was the worst month. January I lost about 200 something. March I was closed the month about 200 something. Although my averages were better, my average loss and average win on each day that I lost and each day that I won in March was a lot better compared to January and February. I had a average loss of about $29, and then average win of about $26. But obviously my losses were about I think about 13 days or something. I had 13 red days, and then I had about I definitely had 3 green days. So definitely that's not something good, a lot of red days and then very little green days. But I managed my risk properly. I kept my losses small, and didn't lose a lot. Down about, I think, 211 on the month in March. And in February I was down about 800 something. That was just because of my extensive sizing. I was buying 500 shares of stocks, and I was just losing out of my ass, right? I was losing about 100 on a bad losing day, versus making like 30-40 bucks. So it just wasn't a great month for me, February. But March was a lot better. I felt a lot better. Although I wanted to have more green days in March, it's just the momentum kind of shifted, and there weren't a lot of follow throughs, and I just kind of got stuck in that. So that's why today, going into April, my goal is to just kind of watch the markets, see what they're offering. Don't force anything, just wait for the right plays, right setups, and they'll come. April just started, and there's a whole there's about 4 weeks in this month, and I'm not gonna force anything. Goal this month would be love to close green on the month, not just weeks or daily basis, but for the overall month, we'll love to close green. Potentially 200-300 plus green. That would be awesome, as a monetary goal. But when it comes to trading goal, I would just like to stick to good plays. That's not chase anything. That usually gets me in trouble. And don't just jump into anything random. I would like to wait for pullbacks, some sort of support, dip buying opportunities. Those are the kind of things I would like to focus in April. Pullbacks, specific 1 minute, 5 minute pullbacks, they would have to be clean ones for me to jump in. A big initial spike, and then a pullback on low volume on 1 minute, and then the first 1 minute to make a new high. That would be my first watch. And then same thing with 5 minute, similar 1-2 candles to pull back on low volume, and then the third candle basically to rip, is where I would like to jump in. So just keeping all those things in mind, this month I'm gonna have to be careful if I want my account to sustain. If I take big losses this month, I'm basically gonna be running out of my account, my equity again. And after this account, basically I'm done. This will be my third blowout on my accounts. So after this one, I won't be able to refund anything right away. I won't be able to refund my account right away, so I would have to wait for a while. I would basically just have to study till I can get back into the game. So I'm just not trying to get there. I want to sustain this account. Even if I'm adding slowly, that's fine. I just want this account to to stay. I don't want to blow up this account. That's what I'm trying to say here. Goal for April is wait for specific plays, specific setups. Don't rush anything. Don't jump into anything stupid. And then, slowly something will pop up. And once it does, I'll take advantage of it, The thing is, I'm at that point in my trading career where I understand things. I can see what stocks might have potential, and I can spot them. Now I just have to work on the right entry, because sometimes I'll get in a little too high and then it'll pull back and I'll sell, but then it'll continue to run in my direction. It'll fake me out because it got in a little too high, right? And I'm not willing to hold through the big loss. So I usually just sell, I bail out, and then next thing you know, it moves back towards my direction. So again, entry points is something I need to work on. I need to make sure that I'm waiting for a trigger, a setup, and then basically my trigger is a volume, right? If it pulls back on low volume and then a high volume starts coming in, then that the move is continuing, especially if the second set of volume is more than the first. When it first was going up, there's more volume coming in, so that there's continuation of the move, and that's when you can jump in. So those are kind of things that I'm going to be watching. Dip buying is another thing I'm kind of starting to pay a bit more attention to, because I would love to dip buy the stocks that have news, and then they come down and they hold a support level, and then they start going back up. Those kind of things. Red to green move is something that I'm focusing on as well. Now this month I really want to kind of tone down to only 1 or 2 setups. So either a quick 1 minute pullback, 5 minute pullback, or a red to green move. I'll look for those, and then the dip buying is my fourth opportunity, because I'm not really great at dip buying yet. It's something that I haven't really focused on, but I would like to keep certain things in mind when it comes to dip buying, and then try to see, even with small shares, I'll go in with 50 shares if I have to, make 10-20 cents on that, and I'm okay, right? I mean, honestly, it's not a lot of money, but I'm not initially putting in a lot of money, right? But I'm learning the setups, I'm learning the trades, and that's what it matters. So anyways guys, that's pretty much it for today. No trades, nothing on the profit loss, nothing on the positions. So we'll call it a day, and we'll come back tomorrow, and we'll get opportunities. We're just not gonna force any trades. I'm sure something will come to us, so we'll wait for that. Anyways, thanks for watching guys. Have a great Monday.